world's on fire. Don't touch me, I'm a real live wire. Psycho killer, qu'est-ce que c'est? Better run, 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 run away. Oh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Terror Obscura, the show where we look at the best and worst horror has to offer. I'm your host, the Veer Fan, and thanks for tuning in. This week, I was going to be talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, but before I could get started, something interesting happened. I had just finished posting my first video on thatguywiththeglasses.com when I happened across a thread advertising a Godzilla collab. There were only a few slots left, and one of those just happened to be for one of my all-time favorite Godzilla movies. Now, I love Godzilla, and this opportunity was just too good for me to pass up. That's why this week we'll be reviewing the 1974 classic, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Now, I grew up loving this movie, but it's been nearly a decade since I've seen it. So how does it hold up? Let's find out. The film starts out, appropriately enough, on Monster Island, home to almost all of the Godzilla universe's creatures. We see Anguirus, second oldest monster in the series, trundling through the dark, desolate landscape. On another part of the island, we see a mountain crackle with energy briefly before exploding as we hear a familiar roar in the background. It's a pretty effective opening all in all, one that's immediately ruined as we cut to what is apparently a tourism video of ancient ruins set to a cheerful, upbeat score. Actually, I have always wondered about that. I mean, how does Japan's Board of Tourism attract visitors in the Godzilla universe? Come, see a beautiful Japan. Lovely ancient ruins. Giant monsters that murder thousands in unpredictable rampages. Also, beautiful Izumi Castle. Anyway, this segment does serve a point as we cut to a group of tourists watching a traditional dance in those same ruins. Suddenly, the dancer stops and... holy shit! Jeez, and I thought only rock stars dropped acid before they went on stage. So she collapses, and when her dad manages to bring her around, she reveals that, rather than just tripping balls, she's actually just had a prophetic vision.
Oh, grandfather!
What's the matter with you, my child?
A monster! A monster will set fire to the city and trample on the people who try to run away.
As two brothers who are in the crowd back there drive away, we learn that Madame Butterfly and her dad back there are the last two descendants of the Izumi royal family. These two are our main characters, ladies and gentlemen. What are their names, you ask? Let's listen in and find out.
Then the old man and the girl are descendants of the royal family of Izumi. Well informed, brother.
I ought to know. I've been working on the marine exhibit for a year. I'm almost an Okinawan by now.
Okay then. Well, maybe they'll mention their names in the next scene.
Entrance to the cave. I won't go inside with it. I've got some work to do.
All right, thank you.
Dear God, has this movie suddenly become self-aware? It's like it's trying to resist my attempts to review it. Well, brother number 2, for want of an actual name, gets dropped off at a local cave and goes exploring. Judging by the camera, I'm guessing he's some sort of photojournalist, but even that's never explained. Anyway, he happens across a glowing piece of metal that's emitting Geiger counter noises, and immediately decides to pick it up. Congratulations! You're now sterile! Here's your Darwin Award. Meanwhile, brother number 1, apparently a construction foreman, returns to his project to find that his men have discovered a cave. Inside, they find some wall paintings and an ancient statue. Wanting to make sure that the place is properly preserved and cataloged, he contacts a local university. And, since this is a movie, we all know what that means. That's right, an immediate media frenzy, with dozens of reporters clawing to get in like a pack of ravenous, bloodthirsty wolverines. Slow news day in Okinawa, eh guys? So one of the reporters slips through, and it turns out that she's actually a student sent by the university to scope out the cave. They go inside, and she quickly determines that the cave paintings are a prophecy about giant monsters attacking when a black mountain rises above the clouds and a second sun rises in the west. Not wanting to be left out, brother number 2 decides to lend a hand.
Come and look at this. This one looks like one of them.
Yeah, way to preserve ancient cultural artifacts there, Mr. Grabby Hands. You sure you don't want to lick the cave paintings to see if the snozberries really taste like snozberries? So the still unnamed archaeology chick recognizes the statue as King Caesar, guardian of the royal Azumi family, and they both decide to head back to Tokyo to get the statue analyzed. On the plane they meet this creepy asshole who dresses like he's seen one too many John Woo movies. He tells them he's a reporter, but they're interrupted by a sudden commotion on the plane.
What is it?
Oh my god! A cloud! Hovering several thousand feet in the air! Truly, these are the end times. Anyway, Archaeology Girl, who still doesn't have a name, determines that the cloud is the black mountain in the sky that the prophecy was talking about. The plane lands, and the two of them head to the home of Dr. Wagura, who happens to be Brother Number One's uncle. He opens the door and...
Ah, Kisugi, welcome home.
Hallelujah! We finally learned one of the main characters' names, and it only took us... about a sixth of the movie. As Kisuki and his uncle have their reunion, Masahiko, formerly known as Brother Number 2, takes the shiny piece of crap he couldn't resist picking up to another scientist, Professor Miyajima.
This material can only be space titanium.
Space titanium? You mean it's from outer space?
No, we just like calling it that. It confuses people. Back at Wagura's place, someone tries to steal the statue, but luckily Kisuki manages to intervene using some of the most awkward fight choreography I've ever seen. Good to see that I'm not the only one face-palming here. Kisuki chases after the thief, but he escapes as the sinister reporter guy watches. Back at Miyajima's, Mount Fuji suddenly goes apeshit, spitting out a massive rock that arcs through the air. It smashes open, and from the rubble steps Godzilla. Who apparently has laryngitis. Anyway, it looks like they get great reception out in the ruins of Azumi Castle because Gramps is immediately aware of Godzilla's arrival. He sees it as long overdue comeuppance for when Japan tried to invade Okinawa. In fact, he's so happy about it, he sounds like he's about to have a stroke over it.
Oh, Godzilla! Destroy the people of Japan who once tried to conquer the Azumi tribe! You will be the instrument of our revenge! Oh, Godzilla!
And I love his daughter's reaction to all of this. Oh no, here he goes again. I am so not looking forward to putting him in a home. So Kisuki decides to go see if Masahiko's okay, and as he does, Godzilla starts doing what he does best, smashing the shit out of the Japanese countryside. Anguirus shows up, and despite the fact that they're supposedly friends at this point in the series, they immediately start kicking each other's asses. Literally. Anguirus rips off a piece of Godzilla's skin, revealing metal underneath, and from that point on, shit is officially on. Godzilla goes King Kong on his ass, forcing him into a retreat. This is actually a pretty brutal fight, and really, it's the first indication that this entry isn't entirely kid-friendly. I can only imagine the reactions of the children in the audience. It's kind of like if Optimus Prime had killed Bumblebee in the Transformers movie by ripping off his lower jaw.
Give me your face.
Anyway, our human characters get the sneaking suspicion that this might not be the real Godzilla and decide to check it out. But first they reveal that the professor has turned his pipe into a magical plot device that dicks with electronics.
It's a powerful pipe.
Yeah, $20 says that the writers of this movie were using a powerful pipe of their own when they wrote this. They catch up to Godzilla as he's rampaging through an industrial district. Suddenly, another monster appears on the scene. It's Godzilla. As the humans watch, Godzilla rips off more chunks of flesh from the imposter, revealing it as a cyborg.
You could call it a Mechagodzilla.
Sounds catchy. I think I'll use that. Anyway, it turns out that Mechagodzilla is being controlled by a bunch of aliens. And how can you tell that they're aliens? Dude, they're wearing silver jumpsuits. What more do you need? Anyway, they decide to give up the charade and have Mechagodzilla transform. And what a transformation it is. This thing's bristling with weapons, and it looks like a total badass. It immediately knocks Godzilla on his ass, then a huge explosion tosses him back into the ocean. Oh, don't worry, kids, it's Godzilla! He's perfectly... Hey, look, a distraction! Luckily, Mechagodzilla's controls are damaged in the fight, and it's forced to retreat, leaving the humans to some interesting conclusions.
The first thing in the morning, we'll fly to Okinawa.
Where?
Yeah. I'm sure that Mechagodzilla is being remotely controlled by spacemen.
Why?
The space metal is the evidence.
What?
I have a feeling we'll find the key to them in Jokusen Cave.
I'd like to take a moment to point something out here. We're at least 25% of the way through the movie, and we still don't know the name of either the archaeology student, the professor's daughter, or the alien commander. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to name you guys myself. You're Mary, you're Jane, and you're Susan. Why Susan? Because fuck you. Anyway, Susan learns that the repairs are going to take longer than expected, and comes up with this brilliant plan.
Don't worry about it. We use an Earthman that knows space technology.
Really? Your technology is obviously thousands of years more advanced than Earth's, and your idea is to ask a human scientist to give you a jump start. Facepalm for me, Keisuke. Thank you. So the team splits up, with one half going to revive King Caesar at Izumi Castle, while the other half check out the cave. Unfortunately, the aliens have apparently read the script and send someone out to steal the statue while the others are captured by the aliens. Anyway, they finally reveal just where the hell they came from.
From the third planet of the black hole, outer space.
Wow, you totally just made that up, didn't you? So Miyajima gets coerced into repairing Mechagodzilla, and the same guy that broke into Wagura's house gives it another shot. Keisuke is laying in wait for him though, and after yet more extremely awkward combat, Keisuke gets hold of the gun and shoots the intruder, revealing the true form of the alien underneath.
Monkey!
That's right, I knew that third planet from the black hole stuff was bullshit. Now I know who you bastards really are.
Captain Simeon and the Space Monkeys!
I admire your deductive processes.
Anyway, Chim Chim there gets the drop on Keisuke, but the mysterious reporter dude takes him out. When the boat finally arrives at the mainland, Keisuke learns that the professor is missing, so he goes to investigate. Meanwhile, the professor has finished his work, so Captain Simeon offers to let him see his family.
It's a trap!
Sure enough, the second the door opens, they shove his ass in. So, how are these diabolical monsters going to execute them? A bullet to the head, perhaps? Poison gas?
I have an even better idea. I'm going to place him in an easily escapable situation involving an overly elaborate and exotic death.
Yep, that's right. They're going to kill them by slow oven roasting them to death. Luckily, Keisuke is speeding to the rescue and... ah, damn it. Yes, whoever could have predicted that wandering into the same cave where 3 of your friends disappeared would be a bad idea. Fortunately, Reporter Dude saves the day yet again, revealing that he's actually an Interpol agent that's been investigating the aliens for the last 6 months. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, not only has the government known about the aliens for the last 6 months, but they even had Interpol agents investigating them. So, when were they planning to spring their trap and raid the alien camp? Was it going to be before or after Godzilla had devastated pretty much every city on the fucking planet? Anyway, they take the Planet of the Apes reject and use him to infiltrate the complex. They rescue the others and manage to escape back outside. Unfortunately, the alien commander is watching them as they pile into secret Asian man's car.
Hold it.
Now wait just a damn second here. If you're watching them on your security cameras, then how come you didn't see them escape the car?
No. I'm going to leave them alone and not actually witness them dying. I'm just going to assume it all went to plan. What?
So the original plan is back on, with one half of the team heading to wake up King Caesar, while the others go back to blow up the base. Say, did you hear about those guards that got killed at this same door less than 10 minutes ago? Oh, I regret nothing! Oh. With the help of Agent Nomura's partner, the team at the beach house rescue the Izumi family and put the statue in place as the last bit of prophecy comes true. The statue destroys part of the mountain, revealing the hidden form of King Caesar. Okay, this thing has been built up throughout the entire movie as being a badass protector of humanity. It's even named after 2 different types of ruler. This is going to be awesome. Okay. He's behind the Shizu, right? We are all so very, very boned. So the aliens send out Mechagodzilla to kill King Caesar before it can be fully awakened. And what will wake it up, you ask? Oh cool, a song. Well, I think that should just about do it. You're just going to keep singing, aren't you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, long story short, the song ends and Mechagodzilla begins making his way toward... Wait. Oh god, there's a second verse. Well, I wouldn't want to deprive you of that, so I'll just entertain myself by transcribing the lyrics. Well, that seems to do the trick, and the lazy SOB finally wakes up. And who knows, maybe he'll actually do halfway decent in the fight. Just go do your best, alright? Anyway, the assault on the control room goes about as well as you'd expect, and outside King Caesar actually manages to do fairly well. For all of about 30 seconds or so.
Oh, fuck!
Anyway, before Mechagodzilla can put an end to the ridiculous-looking thing, Godzilla shows up. Finally, the main event. This is the whole reason people came to the theater in the first place. So, how does it stack up? I've got to admit that it's a damn good battle with a truly impressive amount of pyrotechnics. I mean, my god, this thing fires off more ammo than was used in the Spanish-American War. It even manages to open up an artery on Godzilla and spear him with a half-dozen darts. Things look pretty bad for Godzilla. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen him get this fucked up in any of his other movies. But, don't count him out yet. There is still one thing that he can tap into. A force that surrounds us, that binds us, that connects every living creature in the galaxy. That's right, Godzilla's a fucking Jedi. He grabs hold of Mechagodzilla while he and King Caesar double-team the metal douche. Finally, Godzilla finishes him by tearing his damn head off. I guess that means you guys in the control room are perfectly alright. I mean, you really don't need to blow up their electronics anymore. Guys? Guys?
It's dangerous. Let's get out.
Luckily, Godzilla manages to survive our hero's attempts to help out and returns to the ocean. King Caesar goes back to sleep, and our heroes stand around for one last group shot as we fade to black. So there you have it, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. But is it as good as I remember it after 10 years? Does it matter that the main cast are so superfluous that some of them aren't even given names until a full hour into the movie? Do we care that our villains are quite literally a bunch of monkeys, or that this movie understands magnets about as well as the average juggalo? Hell no! We came here to watch a giant radioactive dinosaur kick the shit out of an equally giant robot dinosaur. If that doesn't speak to your inner child, then congratulations. You're probably a serial killer. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit that makes no sense, but it's actually pretty tame for a Showa period Godzilla movie. And besides, if you were looking for a movie that made hard scientific sense, then why in the hell did you decide to watch a Godzilla movie in the first place? As for the main characters, we don't really need to know their names. Let's face it, the only reason there are humans in a Godzilla movie is because we need somebody to deliver the exposition. Hell, at least this group manages to keep things interesting while we're waiting for the next monster fight, and that's more than I can say about the human protagonist of some of the other films in this series. As always, the real star of the show is Godzilla. Since his first film in 1954, Godzilla is transformed from a walking metaphor for nuclear warfare to a defender of the Earth, and back again. Over the years, his look has changed to match his role, and although the suit in this movie isn't my favorite, it still looks pretty decent. On the other hand, this is my favorite look for Mechagodzilla, whose look in the Heisei and Millennium series never quite matched this level of awesomeness. The less said about King Caesar, the better. With a career spanning nearly 30 movies across over 50 years, Godzilla's popularity and success are unparalleled by any other character with the possible exception of James Bond. And although we haven't heard that familiar roar on the big screen for the last few years, plans are being made for a new film to be released by Legendary Pictures in 2012. Now, we all know how the last attempt to release an American Godzilla movie went, so it'd be kind of stupid for me to get my hopes up. Holy shit, this is going to be the most awesome thing ever invented by mankind. Well, that's it for today. Tune in next time as we take a look at A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Until then, this is the Fear Fan, signing out.